A former LMPD officer's plea deal revealing some new details in the Breonna-Taylor case, and now city leaders are reacting. Exactly 2 weeks after Kelly Goodlett pleaded guilty to conspiracy charges, court records show that she told LMPD detectives she knowingly lied on that warrant that brought them to Taylor's apartment in March of 2020 and then covered it up with a number of those officers. We're joined by LMPD's Chief Erika and Mayor Fischer here to talk about the progress that the city of Louisville has made over the last year or two, especially with the reimagining public safety. But first, I think we need to at least get this out, get your reaction, Chief. A black eye, we've said it over and over with this case. Does it keep getting bigger?
I personally, I'm just very grateful that a comprehensive investigation was done and that the findings have been released. I think the community is certainly owed that, and I'm very grateful for the efforts of the federal government.
And what I've said from day one is the truth needs to come out no matter what. And that's why in May of 21, we turned the case files over to the FBI and the AG. So you're seeing the federal investigation being very complete. And what the public deserves is the truth, and the chips will fall wherever they fall.
Some would say you still had 2 of those officers on staff in the last month, thinking that this took a little bit too long on LMPD's time?
No, you know what? I think that first off, to do a comprehensive investigation takes time. The courts were closed because of COVID. So I understand the frustration that it didn't happen quicker, but I'm just grateful that we're at the point we're at.
Right. So let's talk about this. We had a number of not only investigations, but you guys kind of formed a partnership between city and LMPD to reimagine public safety, which we've said in the last year really isn't just on police.
No, that's exactly right. So we want to update the community on public safety reforms, over 150 actions within LMPD, investments outside of LMPD on Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, group violence intervention, and of course the DOJ investigation is ongoing. And when they release their letter, if there's anything in there that we haven't addressed yet, we're going to add that right immediately to the work we need to do.
What have the responses from community members? Have you seen some of the progress outwardly where the public is already commenting on some of this?
Yeah, I think absolutely, and it's most notable when you go to community events. And this is, again, it's been so important that COVID lifted so that we could actually see people face to face. But truthfully, top of mind for most people is their safety. And they want to see us there, the message that I get, but just do the job in a manner that is fair and impartial.
And focusing on gun violence has been a big shift for us, but we want to go back to that summer of 2020 that really rocked the nation, especially here with Breonna Taylor's tragedy, and make sure folks know that all of these different initiatives have proceeded forward to increase police community trust. That's going to take a while to do that, but we're making improvements because of the concerted effort of the protesters, of the police officers that we have as well, and then of course our administration. And
Chief, I know you kind of came into this within the last couple of years with everything going on. What was one of the first things you said needs to change, and has that made its way to reality?
Yes, I mean I think that there's been a huge amount of work. More than anything though, we had to just get out and get in front with the community as a police department, and not just myself. And so it's getting the department in a space where the officers are comfortable and confident in their job and understand that, no, I need you to be out. You're the ambassadors for this agency, far more so than I am. People need to see you. And so that's really where our work has been day in and day out.
Are we building that trust back at this point with the community and LMPD, or are we still
at the beginning? It's absolutely, it's getting there, but you know, it's one of these things that you can't look and say, well, there's a finish line or there I'm success. It's every day. We've just got to come in and we have to do the correct thing. We have to work to improve. And so that's the mission that what I try to drill into the troops is that it's a daily unit of measurement, and we've got to be excellent.
And there's non-police efforts to make sure that's in place as well. The Civilian Review and Accountability Board, the Office for Inspector General, the Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods, and down to the tactical level in the Chief's Department, a body-worn camera auditing by trained civilians to make sure each and every interaction with a citizen is done appropriately. And then we need the citizens involved, because the number one asset of a police department should be the public and their involvement in helping keep our city safe.
Let's talk about this event coming up Saturday to discuss even more of this, what's being done, the progress that we've seen, and the progress still likely to be seen in the future.
Yeah, so when you talk about the community being your asset with public safety, they need to understand what's going on. So the Chief and I will be presenting all of the different reforms, all of the different open issues that we have involved Truth and Transformation, which involves the public as well. So we're going to ask them to help us, and then obviously we want to take their questions and clarify any issues that we can.
All right. Mayor Fischer, Chief Shields, thank you guys so much for being
Thank you.
here. We know it's a lot of time for you to come on your on our noon show, but we do appreciate coming out and letting us get some
Yeah,
questions
thank you.
answered.